Today we're going to be looking at a handful of armor mods for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Links to the mods can be found in the description below. Now the first armor mod we're going to be looking at is Enhanced Ezio's Outfit and Shield by Potato Fried 17. Now to get this armor you'll first have to find Beedle, who has somehow found himself all the way on the Great Sky Island. Once spoken to, you'll find the 3 pieces of armor and shield up for sale. Thankfully the armor is only 5 rupees per piece. The same however can't be said for the shield. The armour itself resembles Ezio's robes that he has throughout most of Assassin's Creed 2. In terms of effects, the armour offers a stealth up bonus for each piece, which makes a lot of sense considering it's based off an outfit from Assassin's Creed. Sadly we don't have a hidden blade yet in Tears of the Kingdom. We do however have the 8-fold long blade, which will do 16 times the amount of damage for a sneak strike, instead of the usual 8. You can also use puff shrooms as a replacement for your smoke bombs. The armor set can be upgraded and will finish with an armor rating of 20 per piece. You'll also get the Evil Spirit set bonus. In terms of wearing it with other pieces, the armor is best kept all together. However, you can pick and choose which piece you'd like to use. But if you do want to change up the armour, I'd recommend the headpiece, as both of the leg and chest piece do sometimes overlap with the other armours. There isn't too much to say about the shield. It has an armour rating of 90 and a durability of 800, and features the assassin's insignia in the middle. The next mod is Hero of the Kingdom armour set by Khazmo. And to find the first piece of armour for this set, you'll have to travel to Zelda's house in Hateno Village, walk round the back and enter the secret well. Once there, you'll find the Tunic of the Kingdom inside this chest next to the armour stand. The next piece can be found near Fort Hateno, although fighting the enemies is completely optional. Near the fort you should be able to find this small cabin, and inside the cabin we'll find the trousers for the set. Now the last piece, or pieces, can be found at the top of Hyrule Castle. I say pieces as the armour comes in both a normal and hatless version. Visually the armour reminds me of a mashup of existing armours. We have a green tunic which is somewhat similar to Link's traditional green tunics in previous games. We have a sash rather like the archaic set. Then we have one of the pauldrons from the Soldiers set. We also get some jewellery which is very similar to the stuff we get in the various weather sets. As mentioned earlier, we also get another version without a hood. Most of the armour works quite well with other pieces. The only thing to remember is the bottom sash piece is connected to the trousers. Now for the long list of armour effects. I'll put these on screen now so I don't have to go through them all. Now what you might have noticed from that armour set is there was a lot of miasma guard, something which you'll be made painfully aware of when you equip any of the pieces of armour. Now eventually the noise does stop, and if you're wondering what it is, it's basically Link getting his miasma hearts. The sound effect does pay off however, as you can spend a very long time in gloom-ridden areas. And you can roughly spend around 70 seconds sat there in gloom before you actually start to take any damage. Now the last mod we're going to be looking at is Dragon Princess Armour by Alpha. And once again, you'll find this armour set inside Zelda's secret well. Once inside the well, you'll find a bargainer statue selling the armour, a sword, a shield and a bow for 5,000 rupees each. Now looking at the armour, the first thing you'll notice is that Link now looks kind of like Princess Zelda. Now looking at the armour itself, it's clearly a mix between Zelda's Zonai outfit, the Ancient Hero's outfit, and a little bit of the Light Dragon. The armour set can be upgraded to reach a fairly respectable armour rating. At level 1, the armour will provide gloom resistance and zonai efficiency. At level 2, cold resistance and the ice attack weather ability. At level 3, it will gain hot and flame resistance and the fire charge weather attack. And at level 4, it will gain lightning resistance, lightning immunity and the charged lightning attack. The armour set can also be dyed, which will change the colour of both the outfit and Link's new hair. My personal favourite being the blue hair option. Sticking with the armour for a second, there is another version of the mod which splits the armour into 3 separate pieces, which, like other armour sets, will allow you to pick and choose different pieces. This may look odd for certain armour sets, but will work quite well if you're using any of the other mods which changes Link into Zelda or some female version of Link. One of the best features of this version of the mod, however, is that it will allow you to dye the pieces in different colours. For example, you could dye the headpiece red and the other pieces could remain the same. And now moving on to the sword, we have what I would best describe as a light dragon version of the Master Sword, and features a predominantly white and turquoise colour scheme. The colour scheme will also apply to the original Master Sword, as well as to any cutscenes that feature the Master Sword. We also have a shield, which looks very similar to the Hylian shield, but with a light dragon motif, and a bow, which looks quite similar to the Demon King bow, but this time in a light dragon colour scheme. Now the sword has a base damage total of 60, 3 times the durability of the normal Master Sword, and heals on hit. In the same way you get the healing effect when using a light dragon part attached to a weapon. The weapon also comes with all the usual effects of the Master Sword, including the invisible fuses and the power up when close to a gloom related enemy. Moving on to the bow, it effectively works the same as the Demon King bow, dealing more damage depending on how many hearts you have, making it arguably the strongest bow in the entire game. One thing the bow does beat the Demon King bow in, however, is durability, as it has around 150 compared to the Demon bow's 42. The mod shield has almost identical stats to the Hylian shield, with the only exception being that it has again 3 times the durability, which is very impressive when you consider the fact that the Hylian shield already has a monstrous 800 durability. And that's it for the mods we're going to be looking at today. If you'd like to try out any of the mods we've looked at today, don't forget to check the description below, and please remember to support the original creators.